It's noon here on Tuesday, November 15th in Bethesda.
Whoa, it's noon here.
It's noon here in Bethesda, Maryland on Tuesday, November 15th.
There it is.
Payday.
Payday.
Payday. And this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray.
All right, Pops, we've got a lot to cover. First and foremost, that good news coming from the Federal Trade Commission. Nearly $10 million refunded to over 66,000 individuals who purchased cars from Napleton Automotive Group. We're going to dig into that news in just a second. We also have a used car market update. Wow, we've got a lot to cover there.
Yeah.
And a really, you've got to be kidding me, that I think is one of the better ones we've had in a while.
Okay.
And
oh my God, and a fourth end?
You may see Judge Judy poke her head up right back there.
What is Judge Judy doing at the moment?
We're in Judge Judy's court because, Dad,
yes,
the FTC is serving folks. We've got the updated article back here on joinyaa.com. The Federal Trade Commission is going after dealer junk fees and discriminatory practices. This was all the way back in April.
Yes.
The update as of this morning, and a huge win for consumers, the FTC announced that it is sending checks to 66,355 people who were harmed by Napleton's junk fees and discriminatory practices. The payments total $9.8 million. The FTC says the payouts will average $147.
Yes.
Breaking news, great news. What's your take on this?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving buffet now that I'm getting that 140. Now, my take is that the people that are getting a check for $147 probably it probably really cost them $500, $600, $700, and they're getting pennies on the dollar back. But it's better than nothing. And my other take is that it's wonderful that a dealer group such as Napleton was able to agree to write a check to the FTC for $10 million and admit absolutely no guilt whatsoever, which would probably not cause any dealership group to change their behavior, because if you think on average that they were making $500 extra profit on each one of these people.
And let's set the stage. Back in April, the reason they got fined $10 million was junk fees, add-ons that were forced, and discriminatory practices towards minorities.
Yes.
So you're saying $500?
So let's say on average, okay, they made an extra $500.
Yep.
Per 66,355 people.
And this was just 8 of Napleton's dealerships. Yes. If I'm not mistaken, Napleton owns dozens of dealerships.
So if you consider that, so the amount of extra money they made was in excess of $30 million.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, in excess of $30 million.
Yeah. And we're just talking profit, because if you had a forced, I don't know, paint protection or something that an individual didn't realize they could not get, it's forced.
Yeah.
That's probably like, I don't know, $2,000 in revenue. I mean, it's tens of millions in revenue, tens of millions in profit.
Let's just say it's $500 per occurrence here.
Sure.
So they made an extra $33 million. Okay. They stroked a check for $10 million. They admitted no guilt. They still netted out. Let's say they paid their attorneys $1 million to come up with the settlement.
Yeah.
Okay. So they still netted out $22 million ahead. So why wouldn't they do it? Now, the only way they wouldn't do it is if, I don't know, they actually brought criminal charges against the dealership personnel and the upper management of Napleton. And they actually took them to court, got a conviction, and sent some of these nice folks to prison, where some of them belong.
We've seen more enforcements from the FTC this year than I think in years past, Dad. Even just here in Maryland, I'm thinking we had the passport news that broke, what was that, a month ago now? Maybe 6 weeks ago. $3 to $4 million from Passport, same situation as Napleton. We had Coons Automotive here, Coons Kia in the state of Maryland, $1 million from the state's attorney general. And we've had in other states actions as well. Dad, even just out of the state of Florida, the illegal lease buyout fees. Kudos to Jeff Weinseer, the reporter, the investigative journalist down in Florida. The state's attorney general is opening up an investigation into that, subpoenaing 10 dealerships, if I'm not mistaken.
A number of dealerships to get copies of all the lease buyouts and what
simply because people are beating the drum.
Yes.
And so we will see more and more actions from the FTC, from states' attorneys generals. The challenge here, I think, for us as we're seeing this, and it's good news, you know, like rah, it's good news.
Yes.
It's pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
And quite frankly, it's savvy business by Napleton. Dad, that's 66% gross profit. I wish we had something that was 66% gross profit. I get why they do it. It's terrible. It's disgusting. And I think the only way to really hold them accountable is what you said, and also as consumers, for us to not do business with them.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing is consumers have to stay away from these dealers that are pulling these stunts and getting caught.
Yep.
And that's the best thing that we can do if there's not going to be criminal charges filed against the upper management of these organizations.
Yep.
I mean, let's face it, if they can afford to write a check for $10 million, they can afford $10 million in legal fees to defend themselves in a court of law. Okay. And I guess the FTC would say, and so if we were to get a conviction, it's not like we're getting the money back for consumers. At least this way, we're getting some of the money back for the consumers. But if they actually took them to court, got a conviction, throw some of these people into jail where some of them belong, guess what? You're going to end up saving consumers money in the long run, because dealers would think twice about doing something like this. So rather than discriminate against minorities, rather than overcharge, rather than hide bogus fees, they might just deal straight up with customers, because they don't want to take the chance of being the next dealer principal or the next CEO of a large group who's been invited to spend, I don't know, 12 to 18 to 36 months in a federal penitentiary.
Seen a couple of questions come through. I totally agree with you, Pops. Seen a couple of questions come through asking, who's Napleton? What's Napleton? Napleton owns 34 dealerships across multiple states. Obviously, lots of brands. That this action simply affected or impacted 8 dealerships in the state of Illinois. Napleton,
and if I may,
yeah, please.
I know it's a third of their dealer group that admitted no fault and paid the check.
A fourth, yeah.
But if a fourth, I'm sorry. But if you think for a minute that was only happening at 8 of the stores, it's part of the corporate culture that allows these type of actions and activities to go on.
So in your career,
yeah,
you had some long stints with dealer groups, and you had some short stints with dealer groups.
Yes.
There were dealer groups, and the reason you had a short stint is because you didn't align culturally with the owners.
No.
Like, I'm thinking back to, I'm not going to name names, but I'm thinking back to part of, like, the one that you were part of when you moved out here.
Yes.
You weren't, and didn't their owner end up going to jail?
No, he didn't go to jail, but he ended up he had to sell the stores because he was out of trust. He wasn't paying off his floor plan on cars that he sold because, well, he didn't have the money to pay it off. And you know, the captive lenders, they kind of don't like that.
And so you didn't have a long stint with that dealer group.
No, I didn't like the way they treated customers. I didn't like the way they did business. The way they did business did not align philosophically with the way I thought we should try and do business. And so I left there and ended up at a group that I started at their mini store.
Yep.
You know, where
this was priority one.
Yes, where philosophically we were much closer aligned to how I thought we should do business, and I was given the opportunity to help mentor one of the owner's children.
Yeah.
On how you do things the proper way.
So to your point, if you think for a minute that this is just happening at 8 of the 34 Napleton stores, you're wrong. It's happening because it's
more than likely it's happening at many more.
It's a safe bet.
Okay, it's just speculation on my part, but I having spent enough time in the automobile business, this stuff trickles down from the top. It's whatever the dealer principal's willing to put up with.
So let's switch gears just for a second, Dad, and let's
Yes.
remind people that there are resources out there to help you make smarter decisions about what dealerships you work with. Markups.org
Yes.
is a great website. We obviously have a relationship with them because if you go to markups.org, you see my dad's face. Okay? Don't overspend. Let me help.
Yeah.
So we have a relationship with Markups, but Markups is a great community of people tracking markups.
Yes.
Another resource you have, let me pull it up, is if you go to the community, if you go to joinyaa.com/community, we have the dealership reviews channel.
Yes.
Okay. People every day are leaving reviews here, good reviews, bad reviews about dealerships. We are working on better search and everything like that. But just start here. Those are two resources so you don't have to waste your time dealing with the Napletons of the world.
Yes.
Like, just don't do business with them. It's really plain and simple.
As consumers, you should not ever reward dealers that get caught in these type of situations. You just shouldn't.
Yep.
The greatest strength as a consumer you have is to vote with your wallet.
Absolutely.
Okay. And rather than continue to do business with these type of organizations, you avoid them like the plague.
Yeah.
And I understand that, that they represent a poop ton of brands
Yep.
across the entire spectrum of the automotive industry. And they probably in some areas are almost monopolistic because they own all the stores. But if it means you have to go outside of your community to help protect yourself and to protect others, please do it.
Love it, Pops. All right, let's switch gears, Dad. We're going to be talking about this again tomorrow because it's got to be our lead for tomorrow. It's so important, Dad. We had another truly, I don't know if this is accurate, what I'm about to say, historic.
It's certainly hyperbolic. Whatever you tend to, but which is a good thing.
Hey, thanks, Dad. We're good yin and yang. Another week of wholesale prices at the used car auctions getting crushed. Truly crushed. Another 1 point decline at the auctions, 0.96%. I actually want to just fast forward to the bottom of this report from Black Book. The sales rate at the auction is 52%.
Yeah.
This is a chart that demonstrates and shows you the percentage of cars that go for sale at the auctions that actually sell. So we typically run, I don't know, this is what you're looking at here is like summertime of 2021. That's anywhere from 60 to 75%.
Well, it's anywhere from 66 to 75%.
We've been over here, Dad.
Yeah.
55, 54,
Yeah.
now 52% of the cars. This is a great indicator of dealers are holding out to sell used cars at high prices, but they can't find sellers or buyers at the auctions anymore.
And the other thing within that graph was the fact that so many of those vehicles are low quality vehicles. Okay. And that's another reason why they're not getting sold, because the dealer wants too much for it and it's crap.
Yep.
When you go to the sale, you're hoping to buy the cream of the crop, and right now what's being offered is the cream of the crap. Okay. And the dealers want all the money in the world for the crap. So that's why only 52% of the cars are getting sold. But the condition of the vehicles is getting worse and worse every week.
And Dad, we are even seeing on the retail side a lot of movement. And it's not just us ringing this bell anymore. Car Dealership Guy, again, great. Anonymous Twitter account, can't recommend him stuff enough. Big news. Used car prices are about to fall below the year-ago average price. This is excellent news for consumers. Wholesale prices have gotten crushed in the past 30 to 60 days, but now retail prices are finally starting to catch up. And this is the Car Gurus index. So it doesn't really matter where you look, Dad.
And if you went on Carvana right now, I bet you would find any number of price.
Do you want to see something interesting?
Price drops.
You want to see? Does everyone want to see something interesting Carvana related?
Okay.
A little more energy.
Please bring it forward. Share it with the world. I'm sorry.
Dad.
Yes.
There's a gentleman out there. Yes. I don't know this person, Jason Hartman. Okay. I was tagged on this on Twitter this morning.
Okay.
The pace of new Carvana retail listings is significantly decreasing.
Okay.
So this gentleman,
yes,
every single week tracks the number of new cars for sale on Carvana's website.
Wow.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah.
He trades stocks, is I guess what he does for.
And he's a data guy.
And look at this, Dad.
Yeah.
Carvana had been, this is back to February of this year,
Yeah.
listing on any given week more than 12,000 new vehicles for sale on their website.
It looks like closer to 13,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look where we are now, Dad. It has plummeted to about 4,000. Down 75%.
Yes.
So yes, I imagine if you go on Carvana's website right now, A, you will find less inventory because they're probably liquidating more of that inventory to their dealer partners.
They are.
And B, you're probably going to see lower prices.
There was a tweet from the car dealership guy of just that, of Carvana dropping their retail asking prices on the type of cars that more and more people are looking for.
But Pops, there was also a tweet from Zach Shufska.
Yes.
If you're not following me on Twitter, you totally should.
Well, I think I liked it.
I posted this.
Yes.
This got sent in to me. Carvana now doing Facebook ads. Okay. Attention car dealers. Carvana's auctions 95% first run sales rate and starting price equals the floor. Policy to ensure painless buyer friendly experience. Carvana's now advertising to car dealers that they're priced to move to sell their wholesale inventory. This is the beginning of the wholesale price crunch finally going to reflect on the retail side. Could also
be the beginning of the end for Carvana.
We should change the background.
I mean, really, they're figuring out ways to increase cash flow.
Yep.
Because as somebody once said, cash is king.
Yep.
They have an awful lot of debt and not a lot of cash on hand. Which doesn't bode well for a company that's in a cash on hand intensive business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Dad, used car prices. We have got a video that'll drop on the YAA main channel tomorrow about this. We will lead tomorrow's Ray and Zach show and Daily News show with this as well. Used car prices are coming down. Another indicator we look at is the seasonally adjusted sales rate.
Yes.
So we have the SAAR from Cox Automotive, Dad. They
for pre-owned cars.
For used cars. They said a year ago that they thought we were going to have 40 to 41 million.
40.7 million
used cars sold.
Yes.
Now they're saying it's going to be closer to 34 to 35
million.
And that is not because there's not inventory. We've finally seen fleet sales come back for new cars, for rental car companies. It's because consumers are taking themselves out of the market at these crazy prices.
Well, and it's not just the crazy prices; it's the combination of the crazy prices and the hike in interest rates. You combine those two things, and suddenly there's fewer and fewer people that feel as if they can actually afford to participate in this anymore. So as you see people coming out of the market, and I talk about this every day, and the pie getting smaller and smaller because there's just fewer people looking to buy cars. Dealers need to figure out a way to maintain the size of their slice. Typically, the way they do that is through pricing.
Yep.
And so I think you're starting to see advertised prices going down, and you have to realize that dealerships are more willing to negotiate today to get rid of their older inventory than they were 3 months ago.
Every single day they're getting more and more willing. Pops, we've got a couple comments here in the chat that I want to pull up. Santa Claus.
Yes.
Come back after Thanksgiving. Then we'll give you more. We'll give you more.
And maybe I'm looking forward to sitting on Santa's lap this year.
There it is. Valde says, no, thank you for being here, Santa Claus. Santa Claus hacked us one time. If you're unfamiliar with the show, Santa Claus literally hacked us. It was fantastic. Valde, Dad, these are exciting times for car buying. Need to buy my next vehicle, but want to delay just to see where the prices go.
Yes.
Putting you on the spot, Dad. Are prices for used and new cars gonna go up between now and the end of the year?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think
they should continue to go down, and they'll probably continue to go down through at least the first 2 months of next year.
Definitely.
Since January and February are the slowest months of the year. So yes, I would expect to see prices continue to drop. Will the drops be as dramatic as we would all like? Probably not, but they will be drops all the same.
When will the fire sale start?
Once we run out of fire extinguishers. I don't know.
Bruce
Yeah.
Bruce just bought a car from Carvana at a price in line with what I found for the same car in my area in YA. So yeah, they're dropping their prices.
They are dropping their prices.
Please, if you buy a used car in this market, get a pre-purchase
Yes.
inspection. Please, if you buy a car from Carvana, you have that 7-day window. Get the inspection done in that 7-day window. Like, yeah, do not. Okay, Dad.
And please make sure to follow up that you're getting your title and your plates and registration, rather than wait 40 days into the 45-day temporary tag that they put on. Stay on them early, because we know that there's a propensity for them to have difficulty in providing titles in a timely manner.
Absolutely, Dad. We've got from Enrique. He says, so is it better to trade in your used car to the dealers instead of Carvana, CarMax, or Vroom? We've made it super simple for you, Enrique. Go to joinya.com, click on the sell page, get offers from Carvana, from Vroom, from Shift, and dealers in your area all in one place, and then use that as leverage at the dealership to get the best price.
And it also depends on if you're trading the car in to getting something else. It depends on whether or not you live in a state that allows a tax credit based off of the trade value. So if you're in a state like California where there is no tax credit for the trade value, then just sell it to the highest bidder. If you're in a state that you get a tax credit, then you have to start doing the math to see if the offer, even though it might be lower from the dealer, ultimately nets you more than what you would from somebody else when you include the tax savings.
I made it 21 minutes in before any self-promotion. That's a new record.
That is a record.
Resources, free guides.
Yes.
Going down to the search bar.
Yes.
If you're not on the email newsletter, we send it out Wednesdays. Okay, please get on that.
I'm getting a couple of emails in the morning.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I'm searching for trade-in tactics. Car trade-in tactics. Look at those cuties.
Yeah.
This is one of the original posts. This is over 2 years old.
I think I might have been like pounds thinner then.
You were a little thinner.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it in your face.
Yeah. I think it's time for me to go on maybe next.
Trade-in tactics for success. You talked about it just a second ago,
Yeah.
Pops, and we do have the CarWiser widget right here. Let me
Yes.
click start over. You literally just enter your license plate or VIN, answer a couple questions, you get all the offers in one place. But you're talking about sales tax, vehicle trade-in sales tax benefit. We even put updates in here when states change how they handle sales tax in your area. So please, again, to demonstrate.
Can I ask a question?
Free. It says free guides. The search bar.
Free.
I just want to make sure everyone understands where the search bar is.
Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Free.
Okay?
It's
Yes,
free.
It's free. You were really on me yesterday. Yes, it's free.
Free stuff.
Igor reminding us S-Class Benz 7 Series and A8s are selling for cheap at the auctions. And we didn't look at it today. We'll look at it tomorrow. But the depreciation, the week-over-week change in price is different. Thanks for that, Igor. It's different based on type of vehicle.
Yes.
And yes, luxury vehicles are seeing a lot of pressure. And Linda says, do you really think market pressures will affect prices of new cars? The video that dropped today on the YAA channel speaks to this.
Yes.
Like Ford? I think so.
Yes.
They've got inventory piling up again.
Yes. And I think we will continue to see that. And the reason I say that is because we're in a market with shrinking demand. Okay. So if demand is now shrinking and production is ramping up a little bit, well, what's going to happen? Inventories are going to grow. They're not going to grow to what they had been 2.5 or 3 years ago, but they're going to grow. I mean, on average, in the beginning of the year, on hand in transit pipeline inventory to dealers was averaging about 900,000 cars a month.
Yeah.
And then it grew to like about 1 million. And now it's somewhere around 1.3 million. Okay, so it's going up. And it will continue, that those inventory levels will continue to go up. Will they ever get back to the 3.4 to 3.5 million cars that were inventory? No. But if they get from 900,000 to 1.8 million, and the demand has contracted, then you will see dealers and manufacturers offering incentives and deals in order to get the few consumers that are still out there into their dealerships to buy a car. So I think moving forward, we should see better pricing on the new car side of things.
Completely agree, Pops. Valde wants to know, wonder if the dealer would cringe if I bring up Ray and Zach during the negotiations. Please do.
Yeah, and they
probably
you know, at some dealerships, they know who we are. At some dealerships, I mean, we literally, a few months back, we walked into the Mercedes-Benz dealership down the street from us, and two guys came running over to say hello to us. So, yeah, I mean, in some dealerships, we're persona non grata. In other dealerships, they go, hey, these guys are doing a pretty good job, and they're actually helping us out. Really? You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, public service announcement, folks. We obviously self-promote a lot. Join YAA.com.
I've never noticed.
CarEdge.com.
Yeah.
With good reason,
Yes.
Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Please do not go to TrueCar.com to start your car buying journey.
Was it just
end
going to
of
take
year.
an AutoNation?
AutoNation takes minority ownership stake in TrueCar. TrueCar. If you've been playing along at home, and let's pull it up really quickly. TrueCar stock.
Yeah.
Up 31% today because AutoNation, a dealer, bought a significant amount of their business. Dad, AutoNation, let's look at it. Their stock since they went public is down 75%. It is a $226 million company. That means when they went public, it was more like $1 billion company. TrueCar is a terrible resource if you're actually trying to get a fair deal on a car. And now, Dad, AutoNation looks like they're planning their takeover of TrueCar. That is not the route to go to actually learn how to get a fair car deal. Please, please, please do not go to TrueCar. When I saw this, I just kind of chuckled.
Yeah, that's you know, I'm sure that dealer out there now knowing that TrueCar is owned partially by AutoNation are thinking to themselves, well, I don't want to advertise with TrueCar. I don't want to offer specialized pricing with TrueCar because whatever price I offer, whatever AutoNation stores are within shouting distance of where I am, them knowing exactly what we're doing, they're going to undercut what our offers are. So why do I want to give them money and drive business to AutoNation?
It's a perfect example of these websites exist to do lead gen for dealers. Their customers are dealers. Now their owners are dealers. Okay, folks?
Yes.
So if you get upset with us, why don't you guys actually just sell the cars? We're probably never going to sell cars. I can't say with certainty, but we're probably never going to sell cars because then we have no conflict of interest. We literally just serve you.
Well, it's one of the reasons that initially, many years ago, we did have a sponsor.
FindTheBestCarPrice.com.
For some of our videos. And we haven't had a sponsor for videos for 2 years.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that we aren't sponsored by anybody is so that we don't have to be beholden to anybody. So that if the information that we want to give you is not tainted by anybody that advertises with us, because you don't have the choice or the opportunity to advertise with us. And, you know, quite frankly, we reach 4+ million views a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you wanted to, I'm just guessing. I'm spitballing here. But I'm just guessing if you could say to an advertiser, we could guarantee you 1 million eyeballs a week. I'm guessing, I don't know, they probably agree to sign up and pay $10,000 to $20,000 a week to advertise. Okay, so do the math, folks. There's somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million a year.
Yeah. That
we've absolutely just taken off the table because we want to be able to provide you with untainted information that we don't have to color what we're saying or how we're saying it because we have an advertiser that we have to worry about pleasing.
And now look at TrueCar, big brand. It's well known.
Yes.
Not only an advertiser that they have to, or a customer they have to worry about pleasing, an owner they have to worry about pleasing. Truly a perfect example. Probably more of your peers and friends, everyone that's watching this, know TrueCar than they know YAA or CarEdge. I am certain of that.
Yes.
They've spent millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising. Help them out this holiday season. Tell them if they're going to buy a car, don't go to TrueCar.
And if I may, I think I just forgot what the hell I was going to say.
I can chime in.
Yeah, no, I did forget what I was going to say. So,
All right,
but it
Pops.
was pretty.
It would have been good.
It was stellar. I can tell you that.
Justice reminding us, CarMax
Yes.
owns Edmunds. That deal
Yes.
happened last year, and
Yeah.
Cox Automotive owns all of the other websites.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
please respect what we're trying to build here.
Yes.
Santa Claus, for an early Christmas present this year, I got myself a YAA Plus membership. We appreciate that,
Thank
Santa.
you, Santa.
And Pops, I see some conversation in the chat going on around
Oh,
financing.
can I?
please.
I remember what I was going to say. I see a lot of comments where people complain that well, we break into our videos and we
do ads,
we do a 10-second ad.
Yep.
If it's even 10 seconds. And I don't know, would you rather that there be a 2-minute spiel about some advertiser that's paying us $20,000 a week, or would you prefer a 10-second little spot that we're self-promoting so that, I don't know, we can still be here with you, trying to share a little bit of knowledge and entertainment along with that knowledge.
And to that point, Pops, I saw some chats in some messages in the chat talking about financing options.
Yes.
Gang, if you have not started your finance opportunity, your loan origination with the credit unions that we've partnered with, you're missing out. Okay. Click on the finance tab on the homepage, or right here, click on finance. Okay. You can get hooked up with the 4 different credit unions that we work with: Wings Financial, All In Credit Union, Georgia United, and EECU. Okay, we partnered, we vetted these credit unions, and the application process, it's seriously these 4 steps. Okay, so please do that. And if you want to refinance an existing auto loan, personal loan, boat loan, whatever the hell you want to do.
I would imagine they would probably do any loan. I'm just guessing.
Go there.
Yeah.
Please go there.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here, Dad. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to kick off with the used car market update tomorrow because we got more details there that we'll dig into. We also have, no, we'll just leave it there. We have that tomorrow. I was going to mention Deal School 3.0. We're filming that tomorrow, so that should be coming out soon. We're super excited about it. Let's call it a show.
Okay.
We got work to do.
Well, apparently we have work to do, ladies and gentlemen. I have some type of voiceover I have to do in a minute because we're going to set up the good mic for that.
Yep.
So please come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll be back here at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, with more news that you can use from YAA. We thank you all for being here today. We look forward to seeing you all back here again tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, we did that at the. That's cute.
Yeah.